Good evening. Welcome back to Pathologic. We're on day 10. So we're getting to the end here. So far, we've slated a cow to be burned. So, big progress already. And the Inquisitor Aglaia wants documents on the construction of the polyhedron. She thinks the Canes might have information. Pretty sure we'll have to talk to the Stomatans about it, but the Canes are closer, so we're going to start there. Now, the Canes seemed to have been setting up a ritual suicide of some kind yesterday, so I guess we're going to find out how that went. That's what I'm going to do. I think I understand the plan was they were going to dedicate themselves to the memory of Simon, and that's how Simon has lived for so long. That Simon was such a great person that they either very literally, miraculously capture and transfer his soul through the generations, or they so perfectly live up to his memory that they become him. One or the other. Don't know why that was going to need the sacrifice of all the Canes. And they wanted the polyhedron cleared out for that, which I did not do, because the polyhedron is keeping, again, like 1,000 children alive and safe from the plague. So, we don't know what happened with that, but we're about to find out. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Should be easy. Yes, an RST. Thank you for the 8 months. Pleasure to have you here with me on this journey. Okay.
Buzzing in my ears.
My consciousness hasn't completely returned to me yet. I can hardly imagine how much must have changed here since then. What's going on with you? This is not how you normally talk.
Yes?
Interesting. Nothing. Okay. Nothing from Victor. The music in the Crucible is very different now.
Feel almost nothing.
I don't recognize you, Judge. You've changed. Still nothing. Okay. So they're both acting weird, but otherwise nothing to do here. I don't like the recent change to the Crucible music. That feels very bad. Gonna check with Maria, and then head over to Peter.
What?
That's a good point in RSD. I don't know how we can tell with these guys. Clara is becoming mistress of the earth. A dreadful one, too. She is ruthless and cruel. Fanatics believe her and shall happily burn us all at stakes. I can feel this horrible heat with my very skin. The Changeling is robbing us of the most precious thing. She is dousing Peter's genius. She is tempting him, sowing the destructive seeds of doubt in his weakened soul. Her rhetoric can easily drive him mad. What do you know about it? She's been trying for a long time now. She sent me a crazy verse letter, a love letter. I won't show you. He says he's breaking down. He cannot stand it anymore, but I cannot help him either. The Changeling gnaws at him like a worm. This is all Glay is doing. She has sent her. Yeah, the Changeling sent me a letter about Ava as well. What is she saying to him? believes he is to blame for everything. She accused him of taking a miracle captive. That's what Capella said, too. Not letting go of that which is supposed to have faded. Tying a bird that was supposed to fly off. Forcing himself on the guest that cannot live here any longer. Is this not true? I fear Peter will die today. If that happens, a part of the world will peter out with him, an everlasting, irreparable loss. There has never been and will never be an architect like him. Can't have Peter die, he's one of my bound. I've already lost one of those already. How can I make him change his mind? Tell him that I'm turning into a mistress. Tell him I can feel the scarlet lava. Tell him I am ready to accept it into my womb. Tell him my mother is looking at me now. I shall become her. I shall overcome her. And I shall build what he had conceived. That is why I'll preserve the tower. Tell him I feel he's with Andre now. I was gonna go visit Andre anyway. I don't know what accepting the scarlet lava into your womb means. That's gonna be a yikes from me. But Maria has been very straightforward. So we just gotta, if that's the words, and Peter's on the Twirene all the time, so maybe the nonsense will make sense to him. If I say those things to him and that keeps him from committing suicide, so be it. Food is a bit of an issue. I have money though. I still have a real good lot of money. I did get rid of all of my rifles. And I still have some rifle ammo. Maybe I should stop by Bad Greaves at some point for another rifle. I am worried about how far my money will go at this point. I don't know how much I will need it over the next 2.5 days, or if I should just be spending it now. And the not knowing is driving me a little crazy. Just a wee bit. I can't remember what my quick save button is off the top of my head, and I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm just going to double check. 5, okay. Knew it was the standard one, I was just afraid I was going to get them backwards. Oh, I don't have revolver ammo. That is a problem. With a 0 durability knife right now. Still cannot talk to any of the army guys. Why is there an executor here? Why is there a fire here? This is Peter Stabatin in a full executor uniform. What? I feel like I cheated. What? Send me the dark blue flame. I desire to burn down not in earthy, but in heavenly fire. So please do bring me this spicy spirit. Bring me my smoky, dense, odorous sap. I want to burn myself in Twyrene. How about some water? Oh, he just does not. Okay, you look like Hellmate. So you become a master of cremations after all? Is this how you want to die? Listen to my confession. I'd rather confess to you than to her. Listen. I shall tell you what I managed to create. When I studied architecture, for the longest time, I remained passive and didn't do or make anything at all, except observations. It always seemed to me that any house is so much more than walls, a hearth, and a roof. I'm listening. At last I realized that any building is an edifice, a concurrence of planes, lines, rhythms, and temperatures that can become a perfect vessel for a soul. Not a human soul, no, a bigger one. The soul that no man can communicate with yet, for it has no shape, cycle, or voice. Was it that beautiful? I don't know. Neither did I know or experience this soul back then. I only sensed its existence and loved it in advance. When my passion reached its zenith, I realized I just couldn't live like that any longer. I wanted to speak its tongue. I wanted to touch it. Okay. So, this is sort of what Khan was talking about. Peter built the polyhedron, but he can't see all of it the same way that we can't. We don't see the mirrors inside of it the way the kids cling to. Because adults can't see the magic in it, apparently. And it's driving him crazy. Go on. So I gradually began to try. I started to design buildings that were not buildings, chambers that people couldn't live in. Everyone thought I was either a madman or a joke. Only my brother believed in me. He and the few that were privy to my secret. They knew that my designs were not intended for men, but rather for this wondrous soul. And what came out of that? Finally, I understood that I was on the right track. I knew I've discovered an insane but genuine feature that only a lover can feel. And I knew I was striking true. I constructed project after project, but all of them contravened the laws of earthly physics and geometry. Seems like my beloved soul was unlikely to find a permanent shelter on this earth. The eternal curse of dreamers like you and I. Chimeras. They were all chimeras. Nobody would have allowed me to even model them. If not for Nita the Wild. Oh, that's when my brother and I met her. She married Victor, went to live here, and provided me with everything. The place, the materials, the working hands, and most importantly, the hearts willing to believe in miracles. What do you mean? I mean that buildings demand people. Moreover, they demand the people that would demand those buildings back. Museum showpieces, models, abstractions, mind games, these are all not my cup of Twyrene. Nina gave me a whole living town, a town aching and craving to go heavenwards, to the stars, a town desperately hungering for a crown, the crown I've given to it. Is that so? I've built it from prisms and mirrors. I've managed to focus them, to capture the perfect trick of the light and dream. That's right, I'm a trick master, the ultimate magician. I've focused the aura of magic just like a lens focuses sun rays. And now the town is dying, poisoning my precious wreath, my crystal bud, my focus. So what can your polyhedron really do? I cannot put it into words. It's only been tested by the children yet. If you ask them, they'd tell you it brings their dreams to life, plays their games, daydreams with them, transports them to someone else's fantasies. Heard anything about it? I have. But the Canes could tell you even more. They'd tell you this is a vessel, and that can hold the most precious substance of all, the focus of a soul. But even they cannot understand what they've been granted. Neither can I, and I will never be able to repeat it. I'm dead. So this is suicide. It is. See, I was smart enough to take the designs of my creation to the parting. Give them to me, as a keepsake. Oh boy, I'm thirsty. Old boy, bring me 5 bottles of Twyrene and you can have the designs. No one would be able to decipher them anyway, and if they do, no one would build it. Fine. I'll bring them to you. Wait for me and don't do anything stupid. I'll be back soon. Yes. Okay. So, Daniel is with me. He plans to kill himself with the bottles of Twyrene. However, his request gives me time. He won't burn his designs, and he won't kill himself while he waits for me to bring him bottles. Now I just need a way out of here. Hopped over a fence to get here. Okay, I can just duck past the fire. Okay. Let's go talk to Andre. Andre? Andre owns the pub and is also his brother. I didn't have an opportunity to tell him about Maria to try to talk him out of things. That's multiple bad guys right there. Please handle it. Thank you. And handle that one, please. Thank you. Okay. 2 bad guys burned to death in front of me. Great. Andre, you here?
What's brewing at the Kynes? They say 5 people are living there instead of 3 these days.
Did he just pronounce it Kynes instead of Canes? Just the person I wanted to see. We've had quite an adventure here. My knife loves strife. It has a gripe with the type filled with tripe. So tell me, what would be best? Should I drag my little brother over here to always have him by my side? Or rather move to his place? Do you know what already happened to your brother? Of course I do. And how do you know? Tell me about this adventures of yours, will you? You see, my dear brother is seeing pink elephants. He's talking to bottles. The conversations seem to be enlightening, too. He mostly does the listening. And so he got it in his head, as far as I understood. He decided that he was at his limit and wanted to try his luck. Is he in a crisis? Let me guess, it started yesterday? He's been getting uncanny ideas. He wanted to pay visits to all his early works. I mean the ugly ruins, the stairways to heaven that are scattered around town. Said he needed to find the ideal place for something, and I have no idea what he has in mind. So what about the adventure? He broke loose and ran outside, wild and disoriented. Fell across some soldiers. I've been told he had been preparing to leave his humble abode beforehand. Someone's heard the ruckus. Thankfully, I got there in time. He managed to provoke the Royal Riflemen somehow, so they started clubbing him, and then, well, you know me. How many? 3 flamethrower-wielding freaks and an officer. What are you going to do? I'll deal with everything that needs to be dealt with, and that's it. I'm never leaving him again. All our lives we've been persecuted for being extraordinary. As soon as a genius sets foot out of his house, he's immediately struck by lightning. You must know that. We're birds of a feather, you and us. Why didn't you abandon any and all business to stay with him? Why didn't you take him with you? Why would I? They didn't even know who Peter was and where he lived. He never reported to them, I hope. And even if he did, none of them got out of there alive. We are not birds of a feather. You only have 3 bottles of Twirine. That is not helpful. I mean, I'm going to take them, but I still need 2 more. Where am I going to get 2 more bottles of Twirine? Bad grief? My guess is bad grief. I can't think of anywhere else. I suppose drugstores might. Let's check Peter's house. It's nearby. I kind of feel like I'm screwing up somehow already. That's not the... I want the food store. The food store is here. You don't have any food. Okay, that's first. That's first. That hadn't happened before. So it sounds like Andre killed soldiers that were looking for Peter. What are the odds there's bottles of Twirine here? Oh, but there are soldiers. A whole bunch of soldiers. Soldiers. Name. Establish your identity first. I am Bachelor Dankovsky, an authorized representative of the Inquisitor, head of the sanitary staff. Your company commander should have informed you. What are you here for? Here on assignment from General Block. Report the situation. Our immediate commanding officer is Captain Longan, commander of the 15th Company. He's in charge of investigating the attack on the Flamethrower Corps sanitary patrol. Any more questions? So you're telling me that General Block has no authority over you. Be excited to find out. We're going to find the offender sooner or later anyway. We already have tactical data suggesting that one of the offenders is hiding in a ruined building in the central part of town, presenting armed resistance. I suggest you cooperate in his arrest or else. He'll be here soon. You just wait right here. He'll be back, I'm sure. Okay. Feel like I did things slightly out of order by running into Peter. He's definitely supposed to be in hiding, but I found him. Andre killed some of the flamethrower corps, and some of the soldiers are looking for revenge. They're blaming Peter for it. I think I'm still heading to Bad Grief. It's the best plan I have anyway. Oh, that must be the burning of the cow I'm hearing. The bowl. Anything to trade for. Check this pharmacy real quick. No Tyrene. Tablets of many kinds, but no Tyrene. It's 11 o'clock. Plenty of time left in the day. Lots of people getting shot in the street. Lots of people. We'll be going right next to Ruben's place, so I think I'm gonna check in with him. See if he's there, at least. Anything useful, child? They have a rifle and shotgun ammo. Okay, Ruben is here. Ruben, are you good? Is everything good?
I'm on my last legs. I can't take it anymore.
They let me go, but it can't be. Georgie was supposed to put me to death. Your transgression was not so great, colleague. Okay. He definitely seems to think he's committed some inexcusable offense to the Canes. No idea what that would really be. Something to do with Simon's body, the details are not clear. Bad grief is sick. Good antibiotic. Okay, I can give him a panacea or a schmouter. I don't know that I have enough of those to spare to use one now. I wonder how strong an antibiotic I can get a hold of. I would rather buy some pills that only work for a day than spend a panacea right now. I cannot think of anywhere else I could get Twirine. No one else drinks it like that. Herbreads, maybe. I don't actually even know how it's made. Like, all this time here and all this talk around it, but I don't even actually know if it's made by the kin or the townsfolk. I don't know who produces it. Food store. What is that? It is a bandage set. Good to know, but not what I want. Okay. Ferromycinium specifically says it can return a patient to consciousness. It is 6,000. So these are immunity boosters, but not antibiotic. Wait. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Save. Buy some ferromycinium for 6,000. That's using up a lot of my money, and I will still need money left over to shop from Bad Grief, but hopefully I can sell some things to him too. Extra lockpicks or whatever. Ooh, drive by that rat. Get wrecked. Bad Grief may be one of, like, 2 people I actually legitimately trust. I'm sure I will treat him eventually, but I kind of just need to know if this works. Okay. I can give him ferromycin to talk to him for a day. Beautiful.
Many a one says ill that sleeps well.
I wonder, dying ain't no fun. You ain't gonna pay your way out of the netherworld. Earn some coin there, though. Yeah, the pay's good. And so man starts to wonder. He does have Twirine. Need 3 of those. Nope. Only need 2. Only need 2. I have 3 already. Okay. How's revolver ammo? He doesn't have shotgun ammo. A rifle is 16,000. I don't even know if I could scrounge that together. I just rely on the revolver from here on out? I guess. So that. Those. Revolver shots. Really cuts into my funds. Really. Because gloves he is selling for 65,000. Boots for 98,000. Neither of those is happening. Okay. Most of my money again, but I will have bullets. And I still have food. 6 revolver shots, cannot waste those. Shotgun shot. Ugh. I just got a letter from Katerina. I beg you to believe what I say. These recent events are monstrous. My hands tremble so much I can hardly write. He is here again. Come to the rod, please. I need you. I was wondering if I was going to need money. Used it up now. Okay. Don't understand your question, RST. Who's here? She's mysterious. Maybe she doesn't even know. she has never written me a letter before. Even the times I had to talk to her, she's never written me a letter before. So I don't want to just outright dismiss this as the drugs. Not outright, anyway. Sewing needle for a bullet. We're gonna be making that trade a lot. Okay, so Peter's hanging out like over here. Katarina's over here. We'll cross and go up on the other side of the river to Katarina. I feel like I still don't have a plan for saving Peter. I got the Toyrine he wanted. He plans to use that, I believe, for self-immolation? He wants to burn? I don't really want to do that. I don't want to help him with that. Katarina, what's up?
My stomach hurts as if I was filled with straw.
There you are, Bachelor. I've been waiting for you, waiting to reveal to you. No one else knows this secret, and I'd never tell them. Who else could I reveal it to but you, the man that only came here for its sake? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Who I'm talking about? Simon? Simon is alive. I just saw him suddenly appear at the crucible. I sense him, you know. I can't ignore it. I woke up, but the feeling refused to let go of me. He's there. He is still there. It was all a lie, an illusion. Reuben will back up my words. I don't understand. Why Reuben? Reuben must tell the truth. He never lies if you make him swear on his master's name. He will tell you then that he never dissected the body. Simon is at the crucible. It was all an illusion, a deception. Okay, so she is claiming Reuben never dissected Simon's body. Okay. Alright. Yeah, that's a very extreme claim. A very extreme claim. What would be the point of that? If he was preserving the body so that Simon could be revived, why would the Canes hate him for it? Unless by never dissected she means put it in a blender. He didn't dissect the body, he destroyed it, possibly. I want to ask why she wasn't feeling him all this time, but the answer is probably drugs and psychic energy, and who knows. Like, I don't think this actually gets me closer to solving anything, even though I want the answer to this question. So I'm going to ask, why would somebody arrange such a deception? Illusions. The Canes engineered the epidemic. They hid it behind a false murder. Simon is at the crucible. I know he is, and I will have proof. If you won't do it, I'll stoop to asking the changeling, and even the Haruspecs if she refuses too. Aglaia will heed their words, more willingly than she would heed mine, and she needs to know. Simon is, to a certain extent, a concept. That much I have concluded by now, which means your words can be taken very much as an allegory. No, that's exactly why the Canes are so abhorrent. Any fantasy that only has the right to exist in the realm of dreams, they give substance. It's as if they're just bringing all those illusions, all the vastness available to the human imagination into this world. Why are you so upset? I beg you on my knees, go to him, see for yourself that he is alive, and let the Inquisitor rend the Canes to pieces. Aglaia will be happy, because the only good thing in her is her hatred of the Canes. Is that so? I didn't know that. Well, now you do. Well, how generously shall she reward you for the news, for exposing the villains, on the eve of everyone's doom, a truly heroic deed. So why won't you do it? I ask for so little. The Canes did not engineer the epidemic. That I am quite sure of. I don't know that there's any value in telling her that I don't trust her. I don't know why he says I no longer. Never trusted her. She's never been useful. I was going to visit the Crucible anyway. Perhaps there really is no smoke without fire. Okay. Now I can apparently talk to Ruben and ask him the truth about Simon. Which I will certainly do. But I'm here now with 5 Twirene. Maybe I can, like, Looney Tunes lure Peter away from fire. Brought the Twirene. Now give me the designs. Here you go. Carefully or they'll catch fire. Have you seen how it burns, by the way? It's a fewer work. The flame of deep green, navy, purple, crimson, black. You're going to see it now. Stop. I have a better idea. Really? Maria asked me to tell you something. She did? What? That she will become a mistress and construct your latest invention. She gave me her word. Maria is turning into a chrysalis now. Who knows what kind of butterfly will flutter out from it. By the way, Maria is yours to unite with now, not mine. I'll help her, Peter. Don't give up so easily. Come out of the pyre. Interesting. So the polyhedron's been updated with the lines. Okay. Now have the designs. Okay. Hopefully that's enough that Peter doesn't set himself on fire now. That completed the quest. No, I need to turn them into the Inquisitor first. Okay. That can be done. Let's go talk to Ruben. I have a feeling after Ruben I'm going to need to go back to talk to the Kings anyway. Last quick save was before talking to Peter. Okay. Let's just do this quick. I do feel like the absolute war zone of the town is starting to get to me. Talked to Peter. Told him Maria is to become a mistress. Accidentally walked into fire. Walking into fire, very bad apparently, kills you instantly. I suppose I'm only at half health. Does it feel like we're straying from the point right at the end? Sort of. So, I do think there's a bunch of different things happening at once, okay? Stomatans are friends of mine, and Aglaia wants to find the source of the disease. And she wants to understand if the polyhedron is a part of that. If not the source, maybe part of the reason for the source being revealed or something like that. And in her search for that truth, the Stomatans' lives have been threatened. So we're a little bit just trying to save our friends. And a little bit trying to find out the source of the plague still. Frick me. That came out of nowhere. As of right now, I don't think the polyhedron is the problem. But I also think I kind of need some proof of that. Or it's going to get hit by the giant cannon. So if I'm going to save the polyhedron, and by extension all of the healthy children inside of it, I assume, I need to prove that the polyhedron is not a problem. Why can I pass through this sometimes and not others? It's a very old game with no budget. It's telling a great story. It's a very old game with no budget. It's telling a great story. We're going to get past this fire, and then we're going to quick save. Would jumping help? Should I jump? Is it a time thing? Am I taking too long to go past it? What is even happening? Step one done. Jiminy Christmas. It is wild to me that we're coming back to the whole reason Daniel is here was to talk to Simon. And like that is suddenly a chief concern again after being discarded 10 minutes into the game. Here we are, hours and hours and hours later. Now, well, don't you want to talk to Simon? He's here now. They're finally out of the infected districts. Not that we are significantly safer, but... So the regular... Okay, yeah. This way to Ruben. If he didn't dissect Simon's body, that means he is the reason Willow had to die. Kind of? We know the disease can't exist on dead tissue, so not even that. No. Okay, Ruben, please tell me what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Why would he have put you to death? Blasphemy, of course. Or do you still not realize the fate that befell Simon? Tell me the truth, Ruben. Is Simon alive? What do you mean? Simon is dead. Certainly dead now. Although he was alive, for all the while he was thought to be dead. Katerina Saburova came back from another sojourn with the spirits and declared that Simon has arisen in the crucible. Just now. She's hysterical. Well, Katerina is... That Clara did something to her. Took her power and her crown as a mistress. Are you certain that she said that? It's impossible. I broke Simon down into tiny particles with my own hands and turned him into the white vaccine. That's what I thought. How are you certain that the man whose body you took was Simon Kane? You think I don't know what Simon looked like? You think his greatness, his noble visage, is comparable to his brother or anyone else? After all, if it wasn't his superhuman blood, who else could fight the disease for so long and almost beat it, even if at the cost of lethargy? Whose? Can you tell me? Understand that in all my time here, I have never, not even once, seen Simon. The only man I hoped to meet here. Never saw him alive, never saw him dead. What do you expect me to believe? Fine. Ask at the Crucible, since they let me go. They clearly don't think of me as either a murderer or a blasphemer. Let them explain where Simon is. I've said all I can. By the name of your master, Reuben, answer me. Did you tell the truth? It's all true. I broke Simon down into particles. Anything that couldn't be used to make the vaccine, I burned. There is no mistake. Can't you see? Only that wondrous organism could produce the white vaccine, the one that's still keeping hundreds of people alive. I give you my word. Very well, then my path takes me to the Crucible once again, just as 9 days ago, when your master directed me there. Okay. I feel like the Canes don't really need to explain themselves, but I know that they will. That, like, what should happen is I go to the Canes and say, hey, Katarina was talking shit. And the Canes go, well, she's a druggie and doesn't even have her psychic powers anymore. And you never believed in her psychic powers in the first place. And I'll be like, yeah, all that tracks. Never mind. Sorry for bothering you. I don't think I can go past. Okay. I just know the Canes have never been that direct. The Canes will not just tell me those things and let me go. They will absolutely have something they want to say. Okay, it's just on the floor. Do I sell things and spend the last of my money for one more really strong antibiotic? I feel like probably not. Like, a thing I keep getting hung up on is there's not a lot of time left. So how much more could I need? How much more food? How many more bullets? How much more medicine could I really need to get through the last couple days? Can't trade with him. No good. I feel like I'm losing a lot of people I used to be able to trade with. I'm not seeing nearly as many children. There are no standing city patrolmen anymore. Before I talk to the Canes, I'm going to talk to Aglaia and give her the blueprints. Because that is the main quest. We'll make sure to get that done. And just, you know, heaven forbid there be another step there.
The commander and I haven't held council, even though it's against the rules. I'm counting on you, doctors.
Here are the blueprints. Hopefully you'll treat them with utmost care. They will probably become a bibliographical rarity even before the author passes away. That's out of the question. From what I know about the author, he doesn't have much time left. A wild lifestyle, heightened anxiety, alcohol and hallucinogen addiction, obsessive phobias, remarkably intensive neural stress. Yet you were implying something else when mentioning his short lifespan. What? No. As you are probably aware, yesterday I took that young man under my protection and averted a threat to him. Admittedly, I also implied that people like him are always in danger. Always. Tell me, how long have you known that man? I feel like lying to her is not helpful here. Although asking a question seems good. But I also feel like she knows. She knows. His brother and I were peers back when we were in university. Has he ever told you of the similarities the two of you bear? That you could end up in a position similar to his, and vice versa? That being an inevitable victim of circumstance is the only fate available to a genius? I ask you to be precise. A lot of things hinge on your answer. Has Peter ever said that being an inevitable victim of circumstance is the only fate available to a genius? No. Not in reference to us. He believes it's his fate at the moment. That was a disturbing question. No, he never said that. Well, let's take a look at the blueprints then. What do you think? It's an absolute masterpiece. Is that what you think? Well, I'll have a look. Go now and only come back here after a while, preferably tomorrow. That's what I intended. Give no heed to rumors and hearsay. These manuscripts and designs are the work of a restless genius. They are erratic, spontaneous, and incoherent. Hopefully Aglaia will be able to unpick their meaning. I'm sure there is a deep-seated, rational explanation behind it all. Boom. Main quest done. That should save Peter's life. Okay, specifically this is over Maria? Which of the three houses is Simon's? I checked them all, but I'll start at Maria's. I have a feeling she may prepare me for what I'm about to see in the other two. Okay. Might be able to tell her that we talked to Peter too.
Why can't you be here with us?
There was no reason for you to come see me today, for I am a chrysalis. Maria? Answer me, Maria. Are you aware that I've always been completely honest with you? I am, Daniel. You are a man of honor. Maria, tell me. Maria, have you always been frank with me? You are the only person I've always been frank with, Daniel. This is probably because our meeting was so strange. We have spent too little time together. You are the only one I've always been honest with, and I will keep being honest with you, Daniel. I don't want to lie to you. Maria, tell me, is it true that Simon is alive? Not quite. It's complicated, but you're not going to believe me anyway. It's a pity that you've come to know our family at this horrible time. None of us is in tune with their true nature these days. Hopefully you haven't been to the right wing, the ring where my father used to live. What is going on with you all, Maria? Mysticism. I can only tell you that you should trust us, but if you would rather abandon us now and go over to the winner's side, then you should leave, rather than watch us perish. What in the world are you talking about? Uncle is preparing to die. I am preparing to be awakened. My father will not be here for long. I don't think I'll ever understand you, the Canes. We are innocent before our town. Nobody has ever done so much for the people as we have. Just wait some more until I awaken, and I shall explain it to you. I need explanations now. The accusations your family is facing are too grave. All right, talk to my father. Just don't be surprised by anything. Do not ask unnecessary questions. He's a bit out of it, but he can offer good advice. Fine, I'll do just that. Canes are on their bullshit again. That is distinctly what this feels like. Canes are on their bullshit.
The crazed mob believes that Simon was reborn as Clara. Madmen. They were hounding her only yesterday.
I need to ask you a question. Ask. I shall answer as clearly as I can. Do you know why ghosts always speak in riddles? It used to puzzle me. After all, I've never felt compelled to resort to allegory in order to draw conclusions from my visions. Now I know the answer. Your consciousness is fragmented. Victor has never had visions. None of the men have visions. Who am I talking to? What was the Cane's mother's name? Who died long ago? Was it Victoria? Is that who Capella is named after? I cannot remember the details anymore. Victor, Forgive me this inappropriate laughter. I'm too unused to this, but I don't want to get used to it because this state will not continue for long. So you... Nina, thank you. Yes. Okay, Maria said not to ask unnecessary questions. I heard that Simon Kane is alive. Is that true? What do you call life? Interesting. Does Daniel know what life is? Life is any state of human being that is different from death. Do you know of that which we call memory? Capital M. I think I have the basic idea. Why then did you ask me that question about Simon? I want to know where Simon Kane is now. You cannot know the answer to this question. Had my daughter not fallen in love with you, you wouldn't have been allowed to ask even the questions you've asked so far. Why have you come here, Bachelor Dankovsky? I want to know the truth about Simon. So you want to know the truth about Simon, so be it. You will. The truth is that Georgie Kane, who so ardently desired eternal life for his brother, has committed himself in entirety to Simon's memory. He is imbued completely with memories of him. That is what Katerina saw, but she is very sloppy with her visions. I think I'm beginning to understand. If Katerina starts spreading rumors of Simon's return, tell them Georgie has gone mad, that he imagines himself to be Simon, and Katerina is sensing those waves. Talk to Georgie. Let him confirm his consent to being presented as a madman. You mean he must himself agree that I paint him as insane? Yes. Go to him. Talking to him will open your eyes to the truth. You are a perceptive man, after all. Help us. Such rumors would be very inappropriate, and please accept some money. It will be of use in shutting up a few particularly big mouths. You really have no idea how much has changed. The cost of shutting up mouths is now several times greater. Everything I see in the Crucible bears a trace of insanity. Victor says I should trust Georgie when he tells me of his own madness. Is it even remotely plausible that a madman would corroborate his own condition? Not at all. What is it then? 7,000 coins. I did finally get paid for something today. I think Victor has committed himself to Nina's memory.
I'm deadly tired. I feel almost nothing.
I just want to talk to you and ask for your blessing in a certain difficult affair. Yes, you are exactly as I imagined. My boy, when Isidore described you to me, I knew that this was the way I would like my heir to be. Alas, I have never begotten one. I am not the first Kane to lack a son, and regrettably, not the last. Why? I think this is the price we pay for leaving too much life in our wake. Life that is lush, blooming, unpredictable, and unrestrained. The soul that could have belonged to our children is dissolved in our man-made legacy. You are a mystic. Are you not seeing what you expected to see? What have you done to yourself, Judge? You know what I did. You will see if you look well enough. That's not really the question, is it? What you really want to know is why. Yes. The truth about Simon Kane is the kind of truth that may only be explained to those ready to accept it. They want to know what happened to his body? Very well. Simon Kane was afflicted with the sand plague. His body has been torn into droplets and fibers. It is a pity that we now cannot produce his remains before the non-believers. What are they to find comfort in now? I do not know. For some reason it seems to me that this changeling, Clara, can be of help here. Here is my final request. Tell the Inquisitor that Georgie Kane has gone insane, and that our family is in preparation for collective suicide. That should do. Perhaps she will even leave you alone for another day or two. But that's not true, is it? Not entirely true, but true enough to satisfy a vigorous mind like hers. Temporary lives will depart so that the eternal lives will be reborn. Go now, my boy. You are no mystic after all. Farewell. I am glad that I did, in the end, have a chance to meet you. Georgie is free of any mental disease. However, this is not the same Georgie I knew. Something has changed. Is this some kind of game, or does he genuinely believe he is his own brother? Perhaps he is misled by an ill-conceived sense of moral obligation. Glyolilic is the last oasis of reason amidst all this madness. I should tell her about Georgie's request. I wonder if Victor is too distant a relative, being Simon's nephew instead of his son.
Yes.
What is your initial opinion on the blueprints? My initial opinion is that of amazement. As far as I understand, such a structure simply cannot hold. All of this could only work if this chamber was floating in a weightless state. These charts are nothing but an intellectual fancy, a mind game, like a perpetuum mobile. Peter said the exact same thing. So how does it all stay in balance? Especially with 1,000 children inside, I don't understand. I was hoping you would explain that to me.
What happened in the bone stake lot? Has someone been burned there again?
Have you already been told about the Canes? God, these days I'm told about nothing but the Canes. Or do you mean something really special? I have extremely valuable information. Where do you imagine Simon Kane currently is? Partly in heaven and partly in the ground, I suppose. Why? You have reason to believe otherwise? Interesting. Does Daniel tell her that he believes the Canes can do what they claim to be doing? I am probably going to regret this, but I want to see how this plays out. It seems to me that Simon is alive. I don't believe that. Out of the question. I don't even want to hear about it. Don't make me disappointed, I beg of you. I've told you what I intended to. Draw your own conclusions. Is that so? Well, that changes everything. I will, of course, draw my own conclusions. In fact, I'm doing so right now. The information is indeed extremely valuable. I will even allow myself to appease the precise price tag. However, it wouldn't be very nice for two crafty people like us to outwit each other, wouldn't you agree? I have my own opinion, and I'll remain entitled to it, with your kind permission. She has also paid me a bunch of money. I shouldn't have put my trust in Aglaya. Contrary to what I expected, the conversation with her did not set me at ease. In her eyes, I caught a glimpse of the strange flame that was illuminating Victor's gaze as we spoke. Did someone say they were related? I think I am going insane as well. Okay. It's 2 o'clock, and I'm done with all of my quests. I have food and money, ammunition, and I feel like there's nothing left to do with the day. Obviously something can still come in, but... Oh, I'm real tempted to buy another one of those antibiotics right now. You don't have one. Wrong direction. I'm totally going the wrong way. It's possible we'll get another letter. That may change things. I'm going to go in here and hard save. Eat. Rest. Need more food. I need more food. Supplies for food have gotten really low. Okay, it's now 4:30. No new letters. No new quests. Got a little rest in. I think before nightfall I'm going to go see if I can find some more food. Maybe stop by Laura's. The food shop's near her. Maybe buy some food, maybe buy another one of those antibiotics. Around there from this side. Someone mentioned that Clara might have been trying to bring Simon into her body. I have no idea if that's true. That may be the craziest thing anyone has said in this game. Take those. It's not super good for calories. I feel like I'm just gonna do a big round. I'm gonna talk to everybody. We'll talk to Laura. We'll talk to Yulia. I don't think anything's going on with any of them, but.
What?
Everyone says that it's impossible to kill death itself, but I can't let go of the hope that someone might eventually succeed. Doctors are said to be the people whose very job is to defeat death. I've always known that I'd throw everything away and follow the man who achieves that to the ends of the earth. If he wouldn't have me as a partner, I'd serve him. If he wouldn't have me by his side, I'd serve him from the shadows. Is that why you love this town so much? It seemed to you that Simon had achieved that. You really are very smart. I hope I can do the impossible. I feel like I am genuinely surprised that the game seems to have an answer to how Simon has lived as long as he has. I do not need a bandage set. I have plenty of bandages. I fully expected the Simon situation to have just been dropped. That it's like an intriguing setup and kind of funny that it all falls apart, but never expected that to come back up at all.
Even if we all lay down our lives here, the town itself must live. They don't make towns like this anymore.
What does it mean, Yulia? For the town to live, but everyone in it to lay down their lives. Now who's talking in riddles? The odds that we can tell Andre about Peter and everything is okay. I'm really not okay with how comfortable I've gotten with the gunshots everywhere. I used to be really jumpy about them. It's just like, well, they're all part of the plan, so... No food. I will say this is wild as well. The prices jumping as a mechanical thing for the game. What are the odds I can get meat at the Bull on Fire? Let's go check it out. There's probably nothing. But let's go see what's going on there. But yes, mechanically, having food cost a whole bunch. Great storytelling technique, fun mechanics, good to play around. The food stores actually not having food anymore is terrifying me. Like, up to this point, I've never really stockpiled food. just held on to what I could get throughout the day. And now I'm like, I need to buy this milk. Because there just might not be any food over the last 2 days, and I could just starve to death right at the finish line. How do I get into this lot? I gotta go back. I gotta get around that blade cloud. Okay. That's not cows. Those are a dong. The dong threw themselves onto the cow and are being burned along with it. Nothing. I have not been to this store today and it's just got nothing. I did not expect that at all, for them to actually run out of supplies. I just got paid 14,000 coins. I can't spend it on food. I have a pocket full of crackers. You 2-seat him, please. Thank you. Check on Aspity. I don't expect anything.
We frequently do good to enable us with impunity to do evil.
Okay. Nothing from Aspity. This is a tailor's shop. Bad Grief does not sell food. Check these two. It just does feel extremely wild to me that there's no quest involved here. There's no narrative driving purpose to a failure caused by starvation at this point. I'm gonna sell a morphine. Save some money on this. I definitely don't need this. Okay, I'm spending 3,000 on the super antibiotic. That's what I'm doing. That feels pretty good. Let's check with Anna. Anna, anything terrible you want to say?
What do you all want from us?
No. There's another shop on the end here. I don't know what kind. But yeah, it feels very suddenly like there is a test. Did you do a good enough job stockpiling resources to make it through the last couple days? Yeah, well, it doesn't actually provide food. We are buying the fresh meat. That is definitely happening. We're just heading back to sleep. God, frick. Right? It's like I feel immensely tested right now. And I get, like, the price increases was also something you weren't supposed to know about and definitely kills a lot of people. That you get, if you don't do everything you can to stockpile food before the prices jump on day 2, you just don't have enough to get through day 2 and day 3. I know that that gets a lot of people, and then you have to go back, you have to start over. And that's extremely frustrating for people, and I get it. I am surprised that that is happening this late. A nightmare now. Just an absolute nightmare. It does have me super worried for the other playthroughs. Like, I have thus far really gone without looting or hunting burglars or anything like that to get by. I sort of recognize now that, like, I might have to, but the idea of playing Artemy and really needing to, not having a choice. But if I don't, I wouldn't survive. I'm not sure I would pick up on it. Or heck, Clara. I don't know how Clara makes any money. Narrodorm. We'll take those. They're at least worth a good chunk of money, if nothing else. I was planning on taking a Narrodorm when I go to sleep here. Get myself full on health. Shotgun shells. Okay. So we're still at like half health right now. Eat a little bit. Take a Narrodorm. Go to sleep.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theater.
Evening letter from the Inquisitor, day 10. Just to remind you, any news from Barak yet? Any luck proving the mineral origins of the bacterium? Last time we spoke, Barak did his best to assure me that the abattoir is clean of infection. Tomorrow he's supposed to present me with evidence of that. As of now, I have no reason to suspect him of being short-sighted, let alone dishonest. If I understand him right, the character of the local soil renders geodesic reports unnecessary. Both the earth and the water here appear to be pure. But what caused the outbreak in this case? I'd rather not recur to the carrier hypothesis. After all, we only have one day left. And that's where I'm going to end the stream for tonight. When we come back, day 11, we'll start with the mime performance and pick up with the quest for that day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I appreciate it so much. You all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Good night.